Hello and welcome to the Kenneth Vercammen Law Office Legal Podcast. In this edition, we go over the nuts and bolts of elder law, which is part of a New Jersey State Bar Association seminar. And typically the phone rings in the law office and it's a potential client calling up. And many times one of the first questions they ask is how much? Well, if someone's looking for the cheapest will, the cheapest attorney, well then that's usually not the kind of person that at least our office wants to deal with, because we try to do quality work. Zig Ziglar, the motivational speaker, always said, "Good things ain't cheap and cheap things ain't good." So we try to provide a quality service. So if someone's looking for a $100 will and estate plan, that's not something we do. And again, the fees depend upon the size of the estate, the amount of work that's done. But we're not going to waste our time if someone wants the cheapest thing. Well, many times people call and they have questions. Well, that's what attorneys do for a living. We answer questions, but that's what we provide our services for, and we get paid. I'd say our office does not do a free consultation, just as the doctors aren't doing free consultations and other professionals aren't doing free consultations. So I've learned, if to do the best work, I try to get the people in. And many times people need encouragement. Let's say someone calls our office. What we do is we email them a questionnaire. And the questionnaire is not that complicated. And we have a cover sheet that says the appointment is for whatever day, whatever time. We ask them to just complete the 4-page easy questionnaire, write down their questions, and when they come in, we'll go over the matter further. If I have time, I'll try to call people up from the car. So what are some of the things that we go over when the client comes in on the confidential will questionnaire? Well, simple things. Let's say person's name, their address, telephone numbers, email, who referred them. Let's say, and if the person who referred, who is that? Is a prior client, another professional, their accountant. And we also put in the beginning, do you want to have a living will, telling hospitals and doctors not to prolong your life by artificial means, such as Terry Schiavo or Karen Quinlan case. And do you want a durable power of attorney in the event your physical and mental disability happens for someone to assist you with your affairs. The next section of the will questionnaire, let's see, we have on the top line, starting with what questions you may have. Marital status is important. We also ask for their date of birth, month, and day. I don't need the year. And then for their executor, who do they want as executor number 1 and executor number 2? And typically that's the same person for a power of attorney. The next page deals with generally what their assets are. And I don't need details. I want to know, are their assets more or less than $675,000, which is the amount for New Jersey estate and gift taxes? Are their assets more or less than $5 million? Or ballpark, what are their assets? So, total amount of real estate, houses, if there's any mortgage, then bank accounts, stocks, CDs, assets, the approximate amount, other major assets, and we always put if none, write none. The approximate amount of life insurance, because for the purposes of federal, state, and gift tax, if someone has a multi-million-dollar policy, that's counted for the purpose of federal, state, and gift taxes. And then we ask, who do you want to get your assets? Who's beneficiary 1? Who are your beneficiaries? And if there's any specific bequests of money or property. We also ask the names of their children and the ages, because they may not be leaving assets to their children. It could be someone else. And on the questionnaire, we also ask questions such as, do any of your beneficiaries, are they on Social Security or SSI, or do they have any kind of special needs? Because we want to make sure that that's who is getting the money, but we don't want to deprive them of any of their governmental assistance. We remind persons that their estate is subject to New Jersey estate tax if the assets are over $675. And we remind people that the New Jersey amount for federal, state, and gift tax is $5,400. So when the client sits down, we typically have 5 different types of, I call it general wills. Parents with minor children, parents no spouse, unmarried, parents without a trust where the kids are over 21, and then the type of a will with a trust where there's assets over $675,000. And on the interview form, we also remind them that, let's see, payment is required by check, credit card, and that's required at the initial appointment before we do anything. And we even provide the clients with what's called a will bill, and I write down the date to sign. Similarly, you never leave a dentist's office unless they've scheduled a new appointment. In our next edition of the Kenneth Vercammen Lawcast, we're going to talk about preparing the wills and what happens on the day of signing. For other information, go to our website, njlaws.com, and for representation, visit our website or call our law office in Edison, 732-572-0500. Thank you and good luck.